It's day 6 of my tiny Tex-Mex painting series where we're celebrating Texas and Mexican culture one tiny watercolor at a time. And I'm doing this for World Watercolor Month, which is the month of July. Anyways, I am using my little Semel Art sketchbook. I love it. It's basically or essentially a 4x4, and I paint tiny anyway. And this is the days we've done so far. And today we are going to be painting a Marranito, which is another pan dulce, and it is the little pig one. And I think it's kind of like a gingerbreadish kind of bread, but I honestly don't know. Anyway, I've always liked that one. My grandfather, when we'd go to El Paso, my grandfather and my dad and I and my sister and stuff, we would go to the bakery and we would always get these in conchas and stuff. So the first thing that we need to do is sketch out what we're going to be painting. And it seems easy enough, and it should be, hopefully, but let's go over the supplies we're going to use. So I've got the Semel Art sketchbook that I just showed you. I've got my little Daniel Smith watercolor palette, and I've got 2 cups of water, one for clean, one for dirty. I do have a little towel here, and I've got my brush pen, I've got my mechanical pencil, and I have my kneaded eraser. And the one thing that is good about like kneaded erasers is it doesn't leave like the little eraser like shavings, or like, I don't know what you call that stuff. Anyway, it doesn't leave anything really behind, and it's gentler on the paper. And so anyway, that's why a lot of artists use that. But we'll put that right there. And so first, oh, and I'm going to be using a Filbert size 6 Velvet Touch brush by Princeton. So I think that's what we're going to use today, unless we switch to a round brush, and I'll let you know. So to do this, you could do this 2 ways. Like we could put like tracing paper behind it to make it more exact and more to the shape, or we could just kind of wing it. What do y'all think we should do? You know, maybe I'll show you maybe I'll show you a different way to transfer that image. And what I'm going to do is I usually bend the paper like this so that I know kind of how far I need to put pencil marks. And because when I turn it over, I'm kind of like, oh, okay, I just need this like little square. And I don't need the inside because I'm not tracing anything on the inside. So I usually go like this, and I just use just a regular pencil. I don't use my mechanical pencil for this because I don't want to waste that lead. But I usually like make pencil marks like this, and then I make pencil marks like this. So that way I'm trying to get as much coverage. You could use graphite paper, tracing paper, carbon paper, whatever. I just sometimes prefer to do it this way. And I think you could probably also use chalk, although you wouldn't really be able to see it that well. And then I just try to do different angles, different ways so that I can try to get as much coverage on the areas that I'm going to be tracing over as possible. And yes, it does kind of wear the lead down, but I mean, you know, it is what it is. All right, so let's try to trace that on. See, I'm teaching y'all a new way to transfer an image. So we're going to do it right here, like so. And I'm going to take my mechanical pencil and just making sure I've got the little bit of a lead out. And then I'm just going to go like this. And I'm not worried about my lines being, you could try to trace it exactly slowly, but I don't mind the sketchy look, and I'm going to go over it with my brush pen anyway. So this is just to kind of get me started with the general shape. And like I said, you could be like, that was a little more precise, but you could be as precise as you feel like you need to be, because it's your art. So that's how it looks. So it's not totally transferred, okay? Like there's some parts that just didn't transfer. It could be the amount of pressure I had on the pencil. It could be a lot of different things. I'm going to go ahead and transfer the same image on this side, because I'm using this side as my reference image for all the paintings I'm doing this month. And I'm just kind of going over, like I said, I'm not trying to be perfect with it. Just getting the general shape. So see? Okay, perfect. I'm going to set that aside. And this actually, I went to the bakery to get one for scientific purpose, for artistic scientific purposes. And because I just kind of wanted to see the texture in person and stuff like that. But okay, now we got that done. We really don't have to use this that much because, or at least at this point we don't, because I didn't. Normally I would sketch like an oval, I'd sketch little shapes, but we didn't really do that part. So now I'm going to take my brush pen and I'm going to outline the image, because that's what I'm kind of doing with this series. I'm outlining first, and then, although technically you could just like wait until the end and outline it, but I'm not going to. I'm just really digging outlining beforehand. So, and you don't, I recommend that you don't try to be too precise with it, but you, again, you do you. If you want to be more precise with it, you certainly can. And just maybe practice with the brush pen, because sometimes you will inadvertently make thicker marks. More pressure makes a thicker mark, and less pressure makes a thinner mark. And depending on how you want your pig Marranito to look, will determine how much pressure you add. I'm going to go ahead and do this side as well. Now that we're done, we do need to make sure that this part is dry, because this will smear. So I'm going to take my heat tool and I'm going to make sure that this side is dry before I paint. I recently moved around my little palette that I use and kind of rearranged the order. So a lot of people put yellow first. Some people will go in rainbow order. But what I tried to do was I put the yellow and then orange and then red, pink together, those kind of colors. And then I did greens over here. And then I did blues and then the purple. And I did green down here. Now, Tiger's Eye was technically, like, if you're going by the Daniel Smith order or whatever, it was like after this one, I think, or something. But I wanted to keep, it's a more greenish color to me. So I'm going to keep that with the greens. And these two go more with the blues in my mind. And then these are earth tones and then buff. So that's why I put these paints in this order. But you do you. This doesn't have to make sense to anybody but me. Did y'all ever see that TikTok with the 365 buttons where somebody said, well, why are you doing that though? And she said, it only has to make sense to me. I don't have to explain myself. Anyway, I'm sure I messed up that reference, but that's why I have those in that order. I'm going to take some Terra Herculano. I think that's how you pronounce it. And that is this one here. And then this is burnt orange. And I'm just going to take some, and I'm going to make myself a little bit of a mixture, because this is going to become the base for our little guy. Actually, the quinacridone burnt orange is, well, I mean, they're both kind of the base. And then I'm going to use some other colors to kind of fill in and add some depth and dimension to the painting. But I think I want to kind of do like some wet on wet too, but I'm going to go ahead and get some Tiger's Eye, because I think that'll add an interesting little color to our little mix here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to erase the lines. Not that it, oh, look, it just smeared, y'all. What the heck? I dried it. Maybe I need to be more gentle. Maybe this eraser makes it smear more, because that's happened before. I don't know. If you know, let me know in the comments. I need to research that. So wet on wet is where you have, this is dry right now. When I add some water to it, and then it's not going to be like puddly water, it's just going to be wet. And in fact, I'll show you. So I'm just going to add some water here, and I'm not worried about full coverage because I will go back and kind of fix things a little bit, or adjust, I guess, if you will. It's not really fixing, it's just more of adjustment to what I was wanting. And this is, I can see that there's spots where I didn't get the water, and that's okay. And the water is a little bit tinted because my dirty water, I didn't make sure my brush was completely clean, but I'm okay with that. So it's kind of pooling down a little bit at the bottom, but that's okay. I think I'm going to start off with the Terry Ercolana. I'm not exactly sure how to say that. And I'm just going to kind of use that as my base color here. And it's going to be messy, and it's not going to be filled in everywhere because I don't want it to be. And then I'm going to take some of the quinacridone burnt orange and drop that in as well. See, this is kind of it's not brown enough, in my opinion. I may have to mix some colors to get kind of the color I want. But I'm just trying to splotch it in because I feel like when you are looking at, like, you can't see this because it's not in color, but there's like texture to it. And it's a baked good, for crying out loud. So it's not going to necessarily look, one like flat wash or something like that. I'm trying to think of the word I kind of like that. I mean, I kind of like the what is in my palette? Probably a cat hair. I mean, there's cat hair on there. Anyway, I kind of like the tiger's eye in here. I like the color that it's giving. So we're going to add a little bit more in, just like that. And I'm being splotchy, although it's kind of looking a little slightly moldy. I guess because of the green. But I just mix colors until I like it. And if I don't like it, I start over. There's a whole, like, people that are really into color theory. And I try to give the, pigment codes and stuff like that to people because some people really are interested in that. And it's interesting to them. So I'm not going to yuck your yum. If you're into that, then awesome. I think, let's see. What do I want to add? I don't really have a brown, like a Van Dyke brown or something, but I mean, I think it's okay. This is looking, the quinacridone burnt orange, I think was too orange and not brown enough, What do you think? And then when I'm adding that green, I don't know that the green is helping, but I mean, you kind of, I think I want it more brown. Let's try to add. I mean, I kind of like that. This color is Aussie Red Gold. And maybe we'll kind of brighten it up a little bit. I'm not sure. Maybe I should have tested my colors before I started painting. I think we're going to kind of leave it. I like to leave a little bit of negative space. I don't like everything to look perfect, too perfect, because I don't like that style. That's not my style. That's not how I want it to look. And yeah, okay. I do want to add a shadow, so let's get maybe some moon glow. I do like moon glow for a shadow. Actually, I mean, I say that, but I just like adding a shadow. I just think it looks good. I think it adds something. And one thing I would say about adding shadow is just add it and then leave it. And don't worry about, like, if it, I don't know, like, I get, not if that it makes sense, but like, don't try to overthink it, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Don't try to overthink this part. Now, see, I just don't like, I don't like this color. I may have to go back in. Let me think about that. Okay, y'all, I added some quinacridone purple in there. Oh, I see it here. I added some quinacridone purple. Maybe that will make me feel better. Yeah. I don't know. What do y'all think? Still looks kind of like a poopy color. But I think I like that color a little bit better. Like I said, I probably should have practiced the colors or chosen the colors ahead of time, but that's not really how I roll. If you do, then by all means, you do you, boo. Feel like, yeah, I actually like that color better. And I just added some purple, so purple's on the opposite side of yellow, I think, on the color wheel. Again, that's color theory. And somebody's probably shouting, yes, that's why you need to know it. But you know what? I mean, I'm happy not knowing it and just kind of figuring it out. That made it kind of too dark, didn't it? What do y'all think? And if you're into color theory, I don't mean any disrespect. I'm just saying I don't like to do that. I just like having fun. I just like adding stuff and then kind of seeing what happens. And then sometimes I'm like, woohoo, that turned out so good. And then sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, what are you doing, Lisa? You know what? We're just going to leave it just like that. We're going to call it a day. Or call it a night, whatever time you're watching this. Thank you so much for joining me today while I painted in my studio. Really do appreciate the company. And I'll put another video that you might enjoy on the screen as well. And check back with me. I am going to be doing a giveaway. I'm trying to finalize what I want to do and how I want to do it. But I think you guys will find it fun and hopefully enjoy it. So thank you again for joining me today. See you in my next video. Don't forget, come back and see what I'm painting next. Talk to y'all soon. Bye. Talk to y'all soon. What? Oh, see you in my next video. I can't even talk now. See you in my next video. Bye.